Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. So you can tell me when to start because only two people are there.
Yes, ma'am. We'll see 5 more minutes, ma'am.
Okay, no issues.
Okay. Kavita ma'am, please ask students to join the session. Kavita ma'am, are you there?
Ma'am, I am there, ma'am. I'm asking the students to join.
Yes, ma'am. Please, ma'am.
Please inform me when I can start.
Okay, ma'am.
Kavita ma'am? Kavita ma'am?
Ma'am, tell me, ma'am.
Ma'am, how much time it will take, ma'am, for students?
For students,
Ma'am is
Ma'am
waiting.
is waiting.
now they have left for lunch, ma'am.
Ma'am, let them join from the place where they are, ma'am.
Hello.
Let them join from the place where they are because ma'am is waiting
I'm
from
not-
minutes.
Ma'am, that's what I put a message, ma'am, to the students to join in the group. I put a message,
Yes, ma'am.
but they're not joining. Again, I will put
Yes,
one
ma'am.
more
Let's
message.
try to
ma'am.
coordinate soon, ma'am. Anita ma'am?
Yeah, can we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
They
ma'am.
are having ethnic day, it seems. That's why they are logging. They are taking time, ma'am. You can start, ma'am.
Okay, no issues.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so good afternoon to all the students. I know that ma'am just told me that you have a ethnic day, and I understand that how difficult it is for you to study on that. But anyway, even if you miss something, you can have the link available on the YouTube. You can see that because see from our last two classes session onward, I started actually giving you certain application web application based AI functions which you can do or you can practice even if you don't know full coding and all. So today also I'm going to talk something which is really very important, and it is about how our work is progressing and how the workforce should be, what kind of skills they should be. And we will be talking about one particular software on RPA, robotic process in automation, which is related to AI, which is widely used. And some of you can actually become RPA because that's a job which will be left over after the robotics, all the jobs. And then the first session will be mostly on metaverse. I can actually invite students or maybe the faculty over there that if they are interested, they can collaborate with me because I'm writing a Scopus, a case study on metaverse in HR. The impact of metaverse and how metaverse is being used by the company like LG or any other company. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit. This is from my research paper, a little bit I'm discussing today. And then later on, we will move to RPA, which is a very, very important, application today. And companies are actually looking for those kinds of skilled workers who are the expert in RPA. So there is a huge opportunity, students, lying for you. If you want to be, in the market and you want to be in demand, you can create your brand by being a RPA developer. Okay. So let's start now. So I'm going to share the slide. Okay, just give me for a second. Okay, so students, we will be actually looking into today into your the concept of future of working. Many of you might have actually heard about the concept of the hybrid working or virtual working. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the role of automation in the field of business and how the future of work is going to be. And already most of the company have moved into that zone. And that means that we are moving from industry 4.0 to industry 5.0. So let's discuss about this. So when I say future of work, I don't wish to present a very distant scenario. I don't want to tell that this is going to happen after 10 years or after 5 years. So we live in a world, students, where trends and norms are changing at the bat of an eye. Right? The future change is already here. It is changing how people think about their jobs. So how do you manage this transition is a big challenge that the business leaders are facing at that moment. So with all kind of technological advancement like AR, VR, IoT, AI, everything included, which has already started in the past decade, it will see how the business world is going to shape in the coming year. So, for example, we have something called gig economy. Okay. So, what is actually a gig economy? So, no longer the people are going to actually work in, you say that, in a company and a full-fledged job from 9 to 5. It has already started. People want a freelancer work. People want to work, own their work in a way that whenever there is a work, they should be called, and whenever there is a no work, they will be paid for that particular time. So you are spending 9 to 5 in a company in a job, and out of that only 2 to 3 hours is productive. So the gig economy is going to come up, where independent worker or freelancers instead of full-time workers will be in demand by even the companies. So gig refer to a model of work where the workers are employed and paid per project. So you'll be employed for a particular project. Once the project is over, your job is over and you're paid a huge amount. One of the biggest question in the world of the work is being whether this AI, the next concept which is coming and which is everybody is debating on that, whether the AI or the robotic are going to be a threat to human labor. Are they coming to steal our jobs? So the rise of internet technology is actually worrying people at one particular point that they are losing their job. It is destroying the job. Automation is replacing the human labors. So whom are we competing against? Is it good for human being or is it not? But this advancement is something which we cannot stop. So what we can do here, student, is that we can develop, instead of cribbing that, no jobs are there for me. Instead of that, develop yourself a new skill which will be required to work with this automation. And that's what we are going to, talk about today. So when you are seeing that how the technology is going to be there everywhere and technology will be widely using everywhere, you have every kind of prediction done today with the help of data. So decisions are based on data, right? You have your career changes, which is going to come. We are working with a diverse workforce. You may be working with somebody in Kenya and you're not required to be in the same office. You work from home and your colleagues can be from US, from Canada, from China, from anywhere. So let's see that how this, the future looks like. I don't think this video is working. Okay, anyway, let's go ahead. I will show you this video later. So today, the first concept in the first session, what I want to talk to you is something called metaverse. And metaverse is the next generation of internet. Actually, the metaverse is blending the element of virtual reality, augmented reality, online games, social media, cryptocurrency, everything is merged and it becomes metaverse. So metaverse is ushering in a novel phase of interconnected virtual experience. That means how will you reimagine the future of work? You can see and you can understand from this session today. Now, in 1992, there was a sci-fi novel called Snow Crash. Author was Neil Stephenson, and he actually coined the word first time called metaverse. Maybe you might have seen might have heard about it when last year Mark Zuckerberg, changed the name of Facebook to metaverse. But before that, the metaverse was already in existence. It is not a new word, and it was not the first time it was heard. This particular novel actually portrayed metaverse as a successor of internet. We know internet, we can't imagine our life without internet. So the next phase of internet is metaverse. And this author depicted the vision of how a virtual reality based internet might evolve in immediate future. So that was a concept at that time in 1992. And he said that metaverse going to take a big shape as a future of work. So the future of work will continue to unfold at a very accelerated phase. And this decade will be one of the most transformational decade of our life in how we working, how do we learn to work in this world of metaverse. So metaverse is a new and evolving environment for the organization. And also with the metaverse, there is one more thing which has come up, and that is called, and metaverse, you all know that Mark Zuckerberg was a person, as I already told, he came up with this word. So when we are talking about metaverse students, when we are talking about like this, there is one more word which we should remember. That is called Web3 technology, W3 technology, that are in talk of the town now. This W3 technology or Web3 technology is going to transform the internet. And that is where the metaverse comes. I will tell you what are those Web3 technology. And the future of the work will be in the metaverse. I will show you some example, which is already some company, there's some cases, company has already started using that in their process. So the World Economic Forum actually predicted that nearly 58% of the companies will embrace VR and the other technology that support the transition of work into metaverse in next 2 years. Now the question is, where is your organization in that transition? Is it moving or connecting to the future of work with the strategies to embed the metaverse? So it's very essential for everybody to understand how to work in metaverse. Mark Zuckerberg recently has hired around, and he's going to continue hiring, even Apple is doing that, hiring the people who are skilled in metaverse, who understand the technology of metaverse, so they can work with this technology. So it's very essential that instead of learning the technology which will become outdated after some time, learn something which is upcoming. Because metaverse is going to bring a huge digital transformation, the way people are working. So moving work into metaverse require a remote and hybrid culture, which can focus on foundation of transitions. And also, so this is the Web3 technology, which I was talking about, in which we have NFT, blockchain, you have decentralized autonomous structures, then you have media, AR, VR. So lot of virtual space and virtual simulation is created to give an immersive experience. Today, a person doesn't want to sit and listen like I'm talking to you. Some of you might be listening, some of you might not be listening. Some of you who are listening may not be able to understand properly, because everybody has a different kinds of learning ability. Some of you may see pictures and may get interested and understand something. But immersive technology or VR and AR is going to give you an immersive experience. Same thing if I teach you and you wear a VR set and you see my screen, or maybe you experience that while you're sitting at one place, you may have a better understanding and better learning. So this is where the virtual space is moving ahead, and it is going to be very creative, very innovative, and It will move, it will grow further. So moving work into metaverse require that HR leaders are purposefully strategic in designing transformational people strategy. So because I'm, my PhD basically was in HR, so I mostly tried to do a research on what the paper which I'm writing at present is on the effect of metaverse in automating the HR process. Okay, so I'm will be focusing more on that and telling you from that perspective. So how, what is the kind of relationship between a metaverse and the future of work, and how human resource leader can prepare a right strategy so that they can bring this change in the organization. They can unfold the future of work and move the workforce into the metaverse. So as I said previously, if you see, this was a prediction which was done by Gartner, one of the, the very big research company. They said that metaverse is expected to generate $800 billion by 2025. So already we are nearing to that. So I'm not talking about the distance, time. I'm just talking about immediately what's going to happen in 2-3 years, and also $2.5 million by 2030. So according to the recent Gartner report, which I included in my studies, by 2026, 25% of individuals will spend at least 1 hour every day in metaverse. Either it will be for work, either it will be you are doing a shopping using a metaverse. Today you go to e-commerce site and you just search and you get a product and you see the picture of that. Maximum you will see a video of that. But metaverse will make you move. There are certain premium company who have already made a metaverse retail shop. Maybe in the next class I may show, or maybe I will show you if we get time in this particular session, that Gucci and Louis Vuitton has made a metaverse shopping. So where you can hold a virtual good. Virtual good means what? See, not everybody can afford Louis Vuitton. Not everybody can afford Gucci. Not everybody can afford these premium, products. But everybody has a will to process this. So what Gucci and these people have done, they have made a virtual cap or virtual product which you can make. So you, in virtual world, in the world of metaverse, you make an avatar of yours. Already in the social networking side, in WhatsApp also the avatar has come. Facebook, it has come long time back. In Instagram also the avatar has come. So create your avatar, which is your virtual, what you call look. And in that, you can make that avatar wear those Gucci, Louis Vuitton bags, goggles, and all everything accessories. In a way, you can satisfy your, hunger for these kinds of stuffs. But these are expensive. Again, you have to buy it. You have to pay for it. Maybe you can pay $1 and possess this. In education field, in social networking site, NFT concept. One of my students is doing a research under me. She is doing the concept of blockchain in using NFT, right? In the social networking site. So that's something which you people should also think. Don't think of what is already existing. What is going to be the future? Think and start developing yourself in that. So my research indicate that although most of us have heard of metaverse, only 15% of us can tell actually what it is. Because metaverse is still in a very, very infancy stage. Okay. And it, as I said, that it can talk about the, the Web3 technology, the Web3 technology like blockchain, cryptocurrency, NFTs, VR, AR in game-changing way. So basically, it is going to make a 3D immersive experience. And brand are going to give you this experience. So there is a metaverse is going to blur the line between physical and virtual world and will enable the customer to interact with the company in a new immersive way. So just now I said that shopping will become real and immersive. You can feel the object as if you are physically meeting, going to the shop and holding the object in your hand. You can have a virtual dressing room. Already I have filed a patent with one of my company where I'm doing a consultancy, And those people, software developer, it's a small IT startup company. And those people have already developed a virtual dressing room and they are in a search of selling it. Mintra is already interested in that. So we have filed a patent for that. So virtual dressing room will make you can just load your photograph and try any dress on yourself. You don't have to wear a dress in a physical showroom. And God knows how many people have worn. And again, coronavirus have come back and people are scared. So you don't want to get infected. So virtual things are going to become a big thing. Some of the world largest, biggest brands have already entered into the metaverse. Like some example I've given, I've included these examples case study in my research. Few I will discuss with you, like Coca-Cola, Nike, P&G, Louis Vuitton. I just told you that Louis Vuitton has created a metaverse shop. You can just make your avatar enter into the Louis Vuitton, virtual shop, and you'll feel like you are moving. You can take the avatar to any shelf, buy any goggles, wear it, try it, and pay amount, and it will belong. Only your avatar can wear that, and you can make your avatar wear Louis Vuitton and go to social networking site or interact with anything. Then Ferrari, you can drive a Ferrari car actually and get an experience. McDonald's, Stella, Atos, Microsoft, Meta, Accenture. So to connect with customer in a novel way, financial institutes like JP Morgan Chase have also claimed to move into metaverse. So almost every country, every company is moving into that. There is also a country of Barbados. This country of Barbados is basically a sovereign nation. They have an embassy, and this embassy is in the world of metaverse, where they make the diplomat meet in the world of metaverse, environment and interact with each other. So this is the first embassy in the world which has created or entered into the metaverse environment. So as an immersive extension of remote learning, and college and universities, around the countries are launching meta universities now, which is called metaversities. So even workplace experiences are moving into metaverse. Recently, Accenture, just a minute, okay? So recently what has happened is Accenture has actually appointed a lot of people, who can work with the, this. And what they did was they did a very innovative way of recruiting people. So they hired 150,000 people in the software division and make them the first day, which is orientation day, induction day, spend their first day of the work in the metaverse. Because Accenture and most of the IT company are working from home. So the new hire, how will they get to know that what is a culture, what is a policy, how they will meet the new CEO and management? Normally when physically the companies were working, it used to happen. So in order to not have that FOMO, fear of missing out, they basically created a metaverse world for new hire and made them visit all the departments in the immersive world sitting at their home. So metaverse is poised to transform the industries, business model, product services, customer experiences, workplace processes. It's going to evolve and it is going to further advance only. So the students' possibilities are limitless. The future of work is for everyone. If you are not developing these kinds of skills, most probably the robots are going to rule you and take your job and you keep on crying. So time's still there and you can go ahead and you can still, manage to develop yourself. So one of the business process which I can explain with the help of metaverse is HR. So because of the pandemic, all of you know that the future of the work moved a little forward when the tension was, ignited. A lot of people were not happy, they started resigning because they're not getting that environment. There's a lot of talent shortage, which complicated, the process of acquiring top talent. So I'm going to talk about the talent acquisition process, the recruitment, selection, and onboarding process, how it is being, transformed using the metaverse technology. So when you're talking about metaverse technology, the metaverse technology has actually created a kind of experience where you can acquire a top talent sitting at home, at the same time giving the same experience what you do when you are taking an interview offline physically. You can create spaces, you can develop relationship with the candidate, you can foster an opportunity. So metaverse can facilitate a robust and immersive candidate experience that are creative, that are compelling, and that differentiate your employee brand. Okay. So the technical recruitment has become a in thing now. Most of the companies are using the metaverse, technology to recruit people and give them the same kind of immersive experience what they get when they come physically and get recruited, or their selection happen by a in the company environment. And also, in fact, the researcher has suggested that the millennials, you people, and the Generation Z candidates may expect and they're happy with the metaverse experience during the recruitment process. It is not, they don't say that, what are you giving me? Why can't I come to the office and see and decide? So therefore, implementing a metaverse strategy into talent acquisition process can add competitive advantage in your quest. So brand like Samsung, Hyundai, Siemens, PwC, and Accenture, they have used metaverse strategy into the talent acquisition process, the recruitment process. And also the platform, like you have a platform which is called Microsoft Mesh. And the Microsoft Mesh is also basically where you people can go ahead and you can see that. So Microsoft Mesh is a web application. It's a Meta Horizon workroom, which is this is a metaverse mesh only. I've taken a picture from there, and it will tell you that how HR processes are transitioning into a metaverse, how companies are integrating metaverse into talent acquisition, in onboarding, in selection, in training, and whatnot. Even in interviews and assessment is done because the systems are unbiased. Human psychology is something where human psychology will be biased because may not like a community, I may not like a particular person, I may not like a particular person dressing sense. So in this case, what happens? My decision will be biased based on a halo effect, which we use in our HR, that we get influenced by one particular factor which will influence our decision. We'll not look and overlook the talent. So just give me a few seconds. So let us see a virtual recruitment fair. Today, most of the companies are actually doing something, and they are organizing something called recruitment fair. Job fair, you might have heard, where the company come, put up their stall, talk about their company, try to attract and select good candidate from campus. So one of the challenge as what faced by the company is assessing and getting right kind of people at the right time. So recruitment fairs basically help them in getting those large pool of candidate, and they can select, they can choose out of that the best candidate. So virtual recruitment fairs are actually providing access to large pool of candidates that are not bound by geography and can therefore increase applicant participation rate. So conducting virtual recruitment fair in metaverse can deliver a high level of value for applicant and increasing hiring opportunity. Virtual recruitment fair in the metaverse enables an applicant to attend as avatar. They will not appear as such. So as I said, in metaverse, you create your avatar. Already you can see in WhatsApp, this new feature is already added. You can create your avatar in Facebook or any social networking site. Also, you can create your avatar, and your avatar will do your work. So it is a virtual, image, or it's a virtual persona of yours. So avatar can attend the immersive 3D virtual recruitment fair on your behalf, and whatever you are saying, the virtual avatar will do that. So they can engage with the potential employer, they can connect directly with the recruiter, hiring manager in a very meaningful way. They can acquire information before you go for a company selection and you decide whether you want to work or not. You want company information. So pre-placement training, maybe your college might have that where the company comes and do a pre-placement where they talk about their company. They say that what are we looking for? So a candidate know that, okay, this is my job or this is not my job. I don't have that skills, or I may not like the company culture, or may not like the process. I may not like the condition of the job conditions, or maybe I don't like the job profile. So you need to know this before you take a decision. Even the employer also want people to come who are really interested, seriously interested. So let us say some example. Samsung did a job fair in Metaverse recently using a platform called Gather Town. You people can go ahead and check that whatever I'm saying. Gather Town, GATHER, Gather Town. Applicant can enter into the metaverse as an avatar and were able to meet the human resource and the hiring manager. This gave candidate an opportunity to not only engage on a new level and learn about the job opportunity in Samsung, but also enable them to learn about the organization culture and values and whether it is fit for them or not. LG also did the same thing. They created a virtual job fair, which is a replica of their original physical job fair in metaverse. So LG approximately called 400 job applicants to appear as an avatar and engage with human resource manager in a metaverse environment. It was both an immersive and interactive experience for the participant. As they asked questions, they sent messages to the human resource leader. At a certain point during the event, the HR leader even turned on their camera to engage with the attendee. You can close your camera and create an avatar which will walk, and the human manager avatar will come, and whatever you are talking, the avatar will speak and like. So you are not meeting face to face in a real time basis. But in any case, if the HR manager feel that no, I have to come now and show my face and interact or directly, the person can switch on the camera and engage with the attendee. So it is a kind of a blended situation, virtual and real world experience. PwC also does a lot of recruitment in the campus. They did a student recruitment team. They have student ambassador kind of concept, and they also created a extended reality group and created something called PwC Virtual Park, where the students from the college and university across the globe. The best thing about this metaverse is that people can come from anywhere, from any part of the world. They just need internet and the proper infrastructure. So the university and the group came to learn about the company value and the culture, the pre-placement training. They showed them how the company works, what are the process and everything. Okay, so let's see this video if it works. Okay, these videos are not working, so I'll show you in the other class. I'm show you after the presentation is over. So if you read newspaper, magazines, or book, okay, fine. Before I go to the next, level of future of work, the one concept of the future of work is basically metaverse. That how companies are using metaverse for HR process, for recruitment and all. So I'm just going to show you that. Just give me a second. Just give me a second, students.
What if you could grab the best career opportunities in cloud computing today? Welcome to our postgraduate program in
serious part of the digital economy.
like that.
Yes, Devin. The word metaverse comes from combining. Meta means beyond and verse meaning universe. In the movie Ready Player One, released in 2018, shows the concept of the metaverse. In the movie, people not only play games, but also hang out, dance, and enjoy days, just like we do in the real world.
Okay. We'll start
Platforms
from
and
here.
what companies and their users are doing with them. Lin Young, great to have you here today.
Good afternoon.
So, Lin Young, tell us, what is a metaverse and how does this differ from what we all know as virtual reality games like that?
Yes, Devin. The word metaverse comes from combining. Meta means beyond and verse meaning universe. In the movie Ready Player One, released in 2018, shows the concept of the metaverse. In the movie, people not only play games, but also hang out, dance, and enjoy days, just like we do in the real world. This is what makes the metaverse different from a VR game. People socialize in the digital universe through their avatars that represent them, and these can be linked to the physical world. When asked what leads people to visit the metaverse, one of the users of Japeto, a metaverse platform by Korean internet company Naver, said that people look for a friend to take a selfie with and upload it to their personal feed. This digital universe has gained traction during the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown, especially among the MZ generation that was born from 1980s to 2010s. And it is becoming a serious part of the digital economy where companies are integrating the digital universe into their businesses.
Okay, so the idea of virtual reality might be familiar to most of us, especially younger generations, but the metaverse, that might be new. And you kind of hinted that Korean companies getting involved in the metaverse. What are they doing there and what do they hope to achieve in the metaverse?
Companies in South Korea are using the metaverse for activities such as recruiting, marketing, sales. Last month, LG Innotek, an affiliate of South Korea's LG Group.
So you can see that this is the LG Connect, which I was telling you. So LG Innotek, they just created a virtual job fair.
The recruitment fair and a replica of the company's building in the metaverse. Around 400 job seekers and 4 HR managers participated in the event. The job seekers could ask questions in private, using their avatars to send direct messages to HR managers. To foster an offline-like environment, HR managers turn on their cameras so that job seekers could feel more like they were at a real offline job.
So you can see that they created their metaverse environment where job seekers can move and see the departments. At the same time, they have a message board where a job seekers and all these job seekers have their avatar and they can ask question to HR manager, and whenever possible, HR managers switch off the camera on the camera and can come in front face to face and talk on the to the candidate.
Fair. The company said that the event turned out to combine the best of online and offline recruitment methods.
One of the unsatisfying aspects of job fairs using online messaging platforms was one-way conversation. Most of the time, we delivered our messages to job seekers and they passively received the information.
I'm in a session.
But now they can choose which
I'm
information to get depending on their preference and ask questions whenever they want.
And also the company also said that compared to offline job fairs where they had to physically go abroad or to rural areas to meet candidates, the cost of career fairs have been reduced by 1/5.
Right, so I can see how doing a job fair in the metaverse would be fun perhaps and a way to save money for the company. But on the positive side, companies are going to want to make money too. So what are they doing in that regard?
Just this month, Hyundai Motor offered a test drive for Sonata M-Line in the metaverse.
So you can see now the next example which she's showing is the first example she showed is the LG Reconnect. LG basically did a virtual job fair and where they made the candidate visit the immersive experience in the virtual office space and talked about the culture and everything and asked question also. Now, the next example she's telling is about Hyundai test drive in Metaverse.
The Korean company, the Korean car maker said aims to use the metaverse to strengthen in relationships with potential customers in the younger generations and establish a brand image as an innovative car maker.
This is a win-win situation both for customers and companies. Customers knowingly or unknowingly feel pressure to buy a car when test driving and dealing with salespeople, but they can be free from that burden in the virtual world. This will eventually lead them to make more frequent visits, becoming familiar with the brand, and therefore more likely to actually purchase a car.
The expert added that letting customers experience products in the metaverse can lead them to become fans of particular brands.
Right. So fans of a brand, maybe fans of a K-pop group. Those, of course, are some of the most enthusiastic fans around the world. So when I'm thinking about this, and I'm imagining entertainment companies making good use of the platforms like the metaverse, what can they do in the metaverse?
When Blackpink collaborated with Selena Gomez for the song Ice Cream, the company wasn't able to film them dancing together, mainly due to the pandemic. So they had it online instead.
While thinking of ways to make the 5 of them appear in the same scene, we planned some content to make that happen through avatars. When showing the video to Blackpink and Selena Gomez, they all said the avatars and video were very cute.
The choreography video has been viewed well over 100 million times as of this week, and the girl group also had a virtual sign event for fans in the metaverse.
There are no constraints on physical space and time, so fans across the world can participate in the event at any time from anywhere. They can also make multiple visits and stay as long as they want, enjoying time with Blackpink members.
Fans received an autograph from the avatars of the members and took photos with them. Over 60 million fans visited the event over 2 weeks.
All right, well, that'll be fun then for music fans, K-pop fans, joining their heroes on the metaverse. But over time, as this develops, it sounds like there'll be more money changing hands, a lot more business actually being done there. But for now, it sounds like more for marketing.
Oh yes, experts say the metaverse can be a great tool that can have a significant impact on customers.
Creating a customer experience is one of the major topics in marketing, and the metaverse can provide it 24/7.
So you can stop here, and I can show you that how metaverse is actually using so you can see this is the virtual world. There's a psychological aspect also, but we will not like to discuss about it. So I want you to see that. Just a minute. We'll show some ad first.
The latest big real estate market isn't on scenic coastlines or major cities. It's in the metaverse.
People are actually buying, even students, it will look very awkward, but people are buying land in the metaverse. Like, for example, in New York or maybe Jumeirah Beach, you want to own a land, but you don't have that money or status to buy that. So you can virtually hold a land in Jumeirah or in the moon. So that is something where we are leading to, which is not so good, but then
spending millions to acquire digital property.
Owning land now in the metaverse is a little bit like buying land in New York 250 years ago.
Metaverse real estate isn't all that different from property in the real world. It just exists digitally in 3D cities where users can simulate real-life pursuits like shopping, playing games, or attending virtual concerts.
There are houses that you can walk into, there are shops that you can go into and buy things. And this real estate in the metaverse is increasingly for sale.
The idea behind investing in digital land is that once you own it, you can make money by developing virtual property and leasing it out.
We bought it because we want to do something very big there. We want to do something that's immersive and exciting. And in order to do that, you have to.
Of course, digital real estate is still considered a very risky investment. So what has that led to this virtual land boom? What factors make it so valuable? Right now, the metaverse is an evolving space that comprises multiple digital worlds where users can interact with avatars. Many of these digital spaces appear cartoon-like, while others feel like virtual recreations of the real world. Andrew Kegel is the CEO and co-founder of Tokens.com, an investment firm specializing in cryptocurrency, metaverse real estate acquisitions.
Land in the metaverse looks a little bit like a monopoly board, in that you have these parcels of land and you want to try to acquire as many parcels of land on the
Parcels available for purchase.
It is a store of value.
Consider when buying digital land.
areas that are busier or have more visitor traffic than the day.
Okay, so these are actually sometimes a lot of people like just AI, how people are talking about that. Is AI going to become a threat for us or not? Similarly, the metaverse also, I'm not saying it's going to become a threat, but at the same time, it's creating a world of imagination. It is creating a world of fantasy around us. And maybe the people want it. That's the reason why companies are doing it, right? The company will create a demand. And if the demand is something which is really liked by the people, then obviously the company will go ahead and do business in that. So it is us who is actually promoting all these kinds of things. Good or bad, everybody has their own, it's very subjective. Everybody has their own way of explaining this. So let's move into one of the very important concepts which everybody and the entire world is talking about. And even we at certain point of time talk about this concept, and that's the concept of basically the robots stealing our job. Are they coming to steal our job? Are they threat to human being? Are they going to destroy the human race? All these kinds of things are coming in our mind. People kind of discuss all these things. We read in the newspaper, we read in the websites, we find in the news channels, we see Stephen Hawking in Theory of Everything talking about it. We think about, Elon Musk, though his company is entirely having a AI-based products and services, but still he talks negative things about robots. So when you see robot playing in our personal life in the form of anything, like from the virtual assistant in the form of Alexa, that is also a kind of robot, to the vacuum cleaner, which can just go ahead and clean the house, just like a maid servant, replacing the maid servant in future. And the explosion of these kinds of robots in our professional as well as personal life are exploding. Now, what I'm going to do here in this particular part of the session is to talk about robotic process automation, or RPA in short. So RPA, what is RPA actually? RPA is a very big concept. And student, you have to be serious. If you really want a really good job and everybody should seek after you, the company should come after you, then in that case, become a RPA developer, okay? And it's not difficult to do that. So robotic process automation means what? Simple definition is, it is a software-based robotic, not the metal of the robotic which you see. It's a software-based robotic that mimic the work that people do, mostly routine kind of job, right? Operational level job. So it's very important to clear that it doesn't look like a shiny physical metal robot like the Honda Oshima. So when you're talking about RPA, I'm not talking about these kinds of robots, which is a steel body and yeah, they can do certain tasks. So you would be surprised that how can I say that robotic process automation means no physical robot, and then also the robot's word is used. I'm talking about the underlying technologies which are used using RPA in our business environment extremely nowadays to digitize and bring the digital transformation. So there's a huge digital transformation which is actually brought So RPA is nothing but a software tool which uses the business rule, the sequences of action, whatever is your process, it take the process steps by step, understand that, and automate your thing. So daily routine work, all those routine work will be taken and already taken over by robotic process automation. Every company is saving dollars and investing also in automating all their routine jobs, routine, a monotonous job, which the robots are taking. Okay. So there are a lot of, terms in that. I have to actually find out what level you have reached so that there are a lot of software which we can learn. One of the software is UiPath, which we did with last batch. And it was a wonderful batch. And the batch really came out with good project, and whatever project was done, they did it very well on UiPath. So when you are talking about digital transformation, it's very important, students, that we should know that how the company, disruptive company like Uber or Airbnb, all these companies have used technology. Uber is not the car hiring company. They don't own a car. You all know about it. It's an IT company which is based in, it is based in US. And they are controlling all over the car and they bought a disruption. Similarly, Airbnb doesn't own any property, doesn't own any hotel, but they have the biggest network of hotel listed in their site. And how? So this disruption is going to come with the help of RPA also. And RPA is going to change the way customer expect their expectations. It is going to build new expectation. It is a very capable technology, and it is going to give a very good competitive advantage to any company, right? So when we are talking about RPA, the businesses, as I said, one very important thing you have to understand, that businesses are product of their history and legacy system and process. But they advance and grow and sustain only with the help of technology and the advancement in technology. You can't say that my generation and generation is doing business in the same way, and I can also keep doing in the same way, and I will still be, successful. So no, you can't escape from technology, and technology is for the betterment of your business. So technology is a thinker, is a thinking, will give a thinking. It automate the thinking, it automate the implementing. Okay. So what's the impact of robotic process automation today? RPA is number one technology that is essential of fourth industrial revolution. In the last 5 years, the concept of RPA has become very popular. RPA is, as I said, it tried to digitize your manual process. It digitize your manual task, routine task, and make it more efficient, speed up the process, and results are better, and your company succeed. Okay, I will show you some case studies and you will understand how it is. Okay, now, so when there's a numerous study about this, no matter what you're looking, the RPA has a significant impact. How it is impacting business, that's what we're going to discuss. So one of the research reports by HFS said that RPA market is going to reach $1.2 billion. From here only, you can understand already it has reached, we have crossed 2021. There is no consensus on whether RPA will increase or decrease the job number. That is not yet clear, but quite of research is done on this topic. One of the study by Forrester Research, they anticipated that more than over 500,000 jobs will be replaced by augmented by RPA in 2018. That means it's already happened. Maybe it might have slowed down because of the COVID, but RPA is in a big way, replacing the human labor. McKinsey and company also predicted that automation technology like RPA will have an economic impact of around 6.7 trillion by 2025, yet to come. And one more study by Osborne, and Frey, which is a Oxford University research group in 2013, they also suggested that 47% of US job will be automated by 2030. That means you don't require human labor to do that job by 2030. It will be done automatically by the RPA software. So, but again, I may say that as a, basically as a teacher or a trainer, I'm very optimistic. I've seen how businesses are using these technologies to adapt. I've worked in the companies. I've seen how it is growing and how still the old processes are still working. But at the same time, the new process is blended into it. So the more opportunities are created, you cannot say that, oh, we can't do anything now. Robots are, RP is going to replace all the routine job, then what is left for us? There are a lot of things which is left for us. There will be redesigning of the job now for human laborers. Human laborers tend to do something which these software can't do. That is very related to creative industries, related to innovation, related to thinking, related to taking decisions. Because you can't base it, you can base your decision on data, but you can't let the software take the decisions. And certain skilled job. Okay, so RPA is going to have a huge impact on the work of the future around the world. The size of the global outsourcing industry is over around $365 million now, and it employs over $5 million. So there'll be a lot of automation which is going to happen in the business with the help of RPA. RPA is going to improve the cost and increase the efficiency. So today, when we look into RPA, we will see some integrated application for everything. See, all our application, in the last session I told, and even you also know that it is hosted on cloud nowadays. So cloud computing company like AWS or the company like Microsoft Azure or IBM or any IT company is reaping huge revenue because of cloud computing. So when your application is hosted on cloud, the employee need input from this to deliver business process and solution. So some employees may not have access to these applications. It's very difficult to integrate and migrate data between applications, right? You can't do that. Most of the time, it's not possible, right? So as a result, the employees are actually end up spending more time and doing simple and repetitive tasks instead of focusing on important tasks that add value to the business process. If you are asked to do data and entry, like for example, now in education industries, teachers and the faculties are supposed to do a lot of admin job. No longer it is a job of bringing creativity, innovations, new cases or new content and deliver it to the students. The teachers are more busy in doing these tasks, which are important. I'm not saying it is important, but which is not adding value. These are to the student learning. It is just documentation. So what if there is an RPA which can, take over this repetitive task and leave the human being to do certain important and focus on the important task or innovation. So the repeated tasks are, if automated, employees will focus more on important tasks. So software robots, which is RPA, robot process automation, will allow employee to add more value to their work, will allow them to improve the efficiency, streamline the process, and key performance indicators. So using RPA, the repetitive tasks will be added. RPA will be focusing on repetitive tasks and will allow the employee to focus on a higher value-added activities, improve the result, reduce the wage cost. So all those are going to be things. So it is non-invasive. It is not going to disturb your existing system. It will deliver the faster and quality-oriented results. It will improve the quality of your process. So human process, access to the sensitive data. Sometimes what happens that the human are not allowed to access certain sensitive data. And those sensitive data can be accessed by RPA software. which can reduce the probability of fraud and compliance issues. RPA can ensure 100% of accuracy and faster turnaround times to this. That means it will lead to a better customer experience and increased revenue. So automation is becoming an increasingly popular concept. More and more industries like financial services, telecom, healthcare company are adopting this. So it's a good time to automate process in your workplace. So now let us see how RPA is revolutionizing the business processes. Firstly, the automation is lowering the labor cost, expenses, obviously, because repetitive jobs, like for example, in the automobile industry, like Ford started this. In order to do the painting and denting, you require human labor to work for days and days. There's a fatigue issue, there's a lot of issue, they can't work in the night, and even the work was not very quality oriented. When they introduce RPA, the RPA or the robot, now I'm talking about physical robot, the work can be continuous and the result can be faster and better. So you can reduce the labor cost. Then it will enable the employee to focus more on the higher value work. Second one, the research also proved that implementing automation will increase the productivity and profit in the organization. The automation also completely reduce the error, right? As a result, automation is going to be implemented in your organization sooner or later. You cannot escape from that. You can't just say that, okay, fine, I'm okay with this, I'm not going to bring automation. So I've already spoken about RPA and you already understand what is RPA, how do you automate. So now I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to show you also some cases, and I will take you to some of the LinkedIn case studies, in the video case studies, and you understand. So there is a software application program. I can't show you because I'm using Mac, and in this it is not allowed. There's no Mac version of this. This is called Automation Anywhere Enterprises Client. It's called AAEC. Automation Anywhere Enterprises Client. This is a client servant architect. This is a RPA, which you can use. AE client has a lot of feature. You can, what it can do is, it can, create basically, bot. So AAI use for creating bots and bot runners. Maybe you might have seen when you go to the website, you have a bot replying to your frequently asked questions. It's not a frequently asked question. Anything you reply, ask if you have any problem, it will answer you that. So various growing industry today are dealing with the, the issue of efficiency, capacity, output. So there is a demand for robotic process automation in three different means: implementation, execution, and scaling. So when we're talking about automation, anywhere enterprises client web application, it actually is a very good software. It's a web application which can deal with all these three. It has a package of multiple application combined. So what it will do is it will automate your routine tasks in a very, very simple way. So you do not do coding or anything for that. So what happens is it has a dashboard which comprises the menu bar, toolbar, automate, management panels. Okay, I've just taken a screenshot from my window computer and given here. You can go to AAI and you can check it yourself. It's not very difficult to understand that. It has a lot of features. This particular panel allows you to create, record, run, and modify your bots. So AI client has two different types of, what you call it, bots clients. One is called the bot creator and one is called bot runner. So bot creator is an automation anytime developer client, whereas a bot runner is a runtime client. So bot creator provide the tool basically. So bot creator, what it does, it provide the tool for enhancing streaming and deployment in your, so you can create a bot for automating one routine process. It can run on Windows. It can be, so you can enhance, streamline, and deploy your all processes, which is routine in nature. Bot creator can be used for authoring, unit testing. Bot creator can be used for client as well as for server in serving environment. It can you can create, edit access to it. Who can access these bot creators in the window environment? You can also install, as I said, on the Windows machines. You can deploy on the desktop PC and virtual machines also on AWS. So one of the feature of the AAI and an automation anywhere client is workbench. There are actually 4 major application or features: smart recorder, screen recorder, web recorder, and workbench in the bot creation. Okay, you will be able to do one bot creation is using code, and this is with the non-coding. So automation anywhere enterprises client provide various methods to create simple bot. As I said, it can be a smart recorder, it can be a screen recorder, it can be web recorder, a workbench. Out of these, most powerful is a workbench. And there are around 500 commands that you can use in this particular software to create automated process for your organization. And you don't require any coding skills. I am only focusing on no code kinds of things. Though all these things you can do it with coding. But to start with, to understand how to do coding, you can go through, this is the best way of learning. So the workbench in AAI provide business process specialists or IT staffs to use all the tools necessary for enhancing, streamlining, and deploying the automated process. So non-technical business user can also use this and build and deploy and robot with a simple drag and drop operations. So the solution is flexible. Technical staff is not needed actually. So we can use a workbench to create automation. You can create a task board or a meta board. Okay, all these you can do. And the component which you can help in the command panel is the action list. These are the command panel features: action buttons, error view tab, variable manager, filler bar. Very simple software. Each one of you can learn this. And if you learn this, you can always flaunt in your CVV that you know this AAI client. And believe me, students, you will have a ample opportunity coming up. Even if you put it on the, you create a bot using AI and you put the, that particular thing in the LinkedIn. There are many company which will lap you for, various posts and will give you a good, salary. So you can use the action button basically to create, run, and save the task board and metabot. It also enable you to debugging and doing certain snap points. Error view panel will enable you to manage error that might occur in your task when you're creating the bot. Panel will update itself as the change is made to the task, and you can also track the progress of your task and debug them. A variable manager will add and modify and copy variable within automation task. Finally, you can use the filter bar to manage the time-consuming task and make an isolated problem. So automation enterprises client has a capability to export and depend this. So this is a very important thing. Now I'm going to take you students through one of my account I have in LinkedIn, and which I will show you some of very beautiful videos and example. I have already kept it open for you all. And these are the case studies which you can see. So just give me a few seconds, I'll share that. I'll show you the case studies on automation anywhere client, how it is used. So these are 2 case studies. Just give me a few seconds. Okay, let's see that.
In this video, you will see how automation can help you perform time-consuming and repetitive tasks faster. Let's consider the case of the HR and admin department of a large company. One of the routine tasks of this department was to copy employee information from PDF documents to Excel spreadsheets. This task involved multiple steps, like opening the Excel spreadsheet where information was to be copied, opening PDF documents containing employee information, copying the required information, such as employee names, IDs, etc., from the PDF documents, and pasting the copied data into the Excel spreadsheet. This task was repetitive and tedious in nature, and negatively affected the productivity of the department. That's where Automation Anywhere came up with its Robotic Process Automation, or RPA solution to help them. RPA automates rule-based and repetitive processes, reducing manual intervention and allowing employees to focus on important and urgent tasks. Let's take a sneak peek into Automation Anywhere's solution in this case. The Automation Anywhere Enterprise, or AAE client tool, helps you implement RPA by creating and deploying software robots, or bots. In this example, we used AAE client to automatically copy the data within these PDF documents provided by the HR and admin department into an Excel file. For ease of access, these documents were placed in a single folder. Let's replicate the procedure to automate this task. To begin, first open the AAE client application. In AAE Client, click New to open the Automate dialog box and click the Workbench option. Let's create variables to store information pertaining to each field in the PDF document. So in the Workbench window, click the Variable Manager tab and then the Add button. Let's create a variable for the given name field. In the Add Variable window, enter a name for this variable and click the Save button. Since no value is directly being assigned to this variable now, AAE Client asks you if you want to continue with assigning a null value to the variable. Click Yes to continue. The value of the given name field is now assigned to its corresponding variable, and the variable will now appear in the list of local variables. Similarly, add the variables corresponding to fields such as family name, address, and so on. Now comes the important step of opening the Excel file. Let's create an action for it. Go to the Commands pane and click Excel. From the list of subcommands displayed under the node, go to the Open Spreadsheet subcommand and drag and drop or double-click it. This opens the Excel command window. Click the ellipsis button to launch the file browser window to select the spreadsheet file. Select the required file and click Open. Since the spreadsheet file has command, select the container file and click the button. Next, let's assign that specific cell in the spreadsheet where we want the data to be entered. Go back to the AAE client window and drag and drop or double-click the Go to Cell subcommand. Enter the cell in the specific cell field and click Save. Now comes the important step of extracting field values from the PDF file and assigning them to user variables. So let's scroll down the commands pane and click the PDF integration command. From the displayed subcommands, drag and drop or double-click Extract Form fields. This displays the PDF integration window. In the PDF name field, click the ellipsis button and select the PDF file from which we wish to extract data and click Open. To add the fields from the selected document, in the Inserted Fields pane, click the Add button. The selected document opens. The red dotted line indicates that the fields have been identified for extraction. Right-click it and select the Add Field menu item. In the Field Details dialog box, select the variable to which the field value is being assigned and click OK. The added field is listed under the Inserted Fields pane on the right. Similarly, add the other field and the Inserted Fields pane will be gradually populated. After all the required fields are added, click Save. Let's suppose there are additional PDF files from the same folder from which you wish to extract the same fields for copying into the spreadsheet. For this, click the PDF name field and press F2. Select the system variable file name in the Insert Variable window and click the Insert button. Note, this variable holds the name of the file being read by the loop command. Now click the Save button to save your action. After extracting information from the fields in the PDF file, need to insert it into the respective cells of the Excel file. To do this, scroll up in the Commands pane and drag and drop or double-click the Set Cell subcommand. This opens the Excel command window. Now click the cell value field and press F2. This opens the Insert Variable window. From the list of variables, select the variable whose value you want to set. In the Excel window, click the Save button. We also need to move the cursor to the next cell to insert the next field value. So drag and drop or double-click the Go to Cell subcommand. In the Excel command window, select one cell to the right option and click Save. Again, let's set the value for this new active cell using the Set Cell command directly from this Excel window. For every subcommand you set, remember to click Save. Again, select Go to Cell in the window to move the cursor to the next cell, and then use Set Cell to insert the value. After defining the cell values, let's move the cursor to the beginning of the next row and insert the values from the next PDF document. To do this, select Go to Cell again, then select one cell below. Again, select Go to Cell, and select the beginning of the row option. This moves the cursor to the beginning of the next row in the spreadsheet. Next, we need to repeat these actions for each file in the PDF folder. For this, we will go to the loop command and use the Each File in a Folder subcommand. Then in the loop window, we will specify the folder whose fields we wish to loop by clicking the Browse button. Click Save to continue. Move the end loop to the last line. The entire action within the loop command gets executed for each file in the selected PDF folder. Once all the PDF document's fields values are entered to the Excel file, we need to close the Excel file. To define this action, we will use Excel's Close Spreadsheet subcommand. Drag and drop or double-click the Close Spreadsheet subcommand. Click the Save button in the Excel command window that opens. Now, to merge all PDF files into one PDF file, we will use the PDF Integrations Merge Document subcommand. Under the PDF Integration command, drag and drop or double-click the Merge Documents subcommand. To add the PDF documents to be merged, in the PDF Integration window, click the Add button. In the Add PDF Files window, click the Browse button to select the files, and then click the Open button. The document path gets displayed in the Add PDF Files window. Click the Add button to confirm. Similarly, add all the required files to be merged. After selecting all the required files to be merged, you can choose to merge all the pages or specific pages for each document. Next, select the folder to save the output file of the merged documents. For this, in the Output File path, click the Ellipsis button. Select the folder to save the output file in the Open window. Provide a file name for the output file, and then click the Open button. Check the Overwrite File box to overwrite any file with the same output file name. Click the Save button. The documents are merged with the specified output file name. The next and final step is to encrypt the merged output file for security reasons using PDF Integrations Encrypt Document subcommand. Under the PDF Integration command, drag and drop or double-click the Encrypt Document subcommand. The PDF Integration window gets displayed. In the PDF to Encrypt field, click the Ellipsis button to select the PDF file that needs to be encrypted. In the Open window, enter the required file name in the File Name field, then click the Open button. Next, in the PDF Integration window, you will need to provide a user and owner password in the respective fields that will be required to decrypt the file. Next, select the permissions that the user can perform on the encrypted file after it is decrypted. Also, verify the desired encryption level and click the Ellipsis button to select the folder to save the encrypted PDF. Provide a file name for the encrypted file and click the Open button. Select the Overwrite File checkbox to overwrite any existing file with the same name. Finally, click the Save button to confirm the settings. After creating all the required actions to automate the process, you need to save the task. Click the Save button in the Workbench toolbar. In the Save Task dialog box, enter a name for the task and click the Save button. Next, you need to test or execute the bot to ensure the bot created automates the process correctly. Click the Run button in the Workbench toolbar. The runtime window is displayed. Watch how each action defined in the bot gets executed. The values extracted from the PDF files are automatically inserted to the Excel file. Once all the actions are executed, the runtime window gets closed. To check the output file, navigate to Required folder and open it. Validate all the information within it. Then open the encrypted file. You will be requested to enter the user password, provided as given during bot creation, and then click OK. Scroll down the encrypted document to verify if all the specified files have been merged. That's of how RPA took over tedious and less creative tasks in the HR department.
Okay, students. So you have seen that one of the process or example which is shown over here, that how RPA can make a repetitive task and a very monotonous task of merging the detail of the new employees into the employee database directly from the PDF or Excel file or whatever information. For example, if you are upgrading, you are promoted, your scale or your grade is changed, manually sometimes this data has to be entered. So these data can be automatically transferred or merged, or it can be extracted by a bot as it is happening. Anytime a new information is input by the HR department, automatically the database get created with the new input. So that's how the bot can actually help in helping the people in automating the routine job. Some more example I would like you to see. Just a minute.
Allowing them to focus on more creative tasks.
So one more automation I can show you. So this is a software which I was telling you, you can download this software. This software is free of cost. It's an open source software. You can download free of cost this particular software. There are certain premium features which are available only on paying the cost. But for normal process, you can use this software and you can easily automate some of your process, some of your routine tasks by creating a bot. As I said, that RPA allow you to create a bot, and it has a bot creator, and the bot creator will allow you can just define the task you want to automate using that bot. So what happens? It replaces a human labor with a software bot which can do the same manual task and repeated tasks which the human labor was doing. So let us see this case study too of the same software. I showed you the example of workbench over there. Now let's do the same example, some other example.
In this video, let's see how automation can streamline processes, helping you focus on important tasks. Consider Ruby, who works in a manufacturing company. Ruby is responsible for responding to client queries via email. Often, she needs to read and reply to these emails on an urgent basis. Earlier, she would very often get frustrated by the huge amount of email received, and so she wanted a system to separate emails requiring urgent attention, such as client queries, from those that did not need immediate attention. That's when she turned to Automation Anywhere's RPA solution, AAE Client. Let us see how it helped her. AAE's RPA tool leverages robotic process automation, or RPA, to automate tasks. In Ruby's case, AAE's RPA tool helped her set up a designated inbox to segregate non-urgent emails, such as those from the HR. The system was designed this way. First, AAE Client was configured to detect emails arriving in the inbox and identify emails from the HR. On receiving an email from the HR, its subject, date, and time would be copied by AAE Client into a spreadsheet. The user could then take a look at the spreadsheet at a convenient time, usually after attending to all urgent client queries, and respond to emails from the HR. Let's understand how you can set up a similar process. All you will need is AAE Client and a spreadsheet file such as this. The first step is to launch the Workbench window to create a task or bot. Click New to open the Automate dialog box. Click the Workbench option in the dialog box. The Workbench window opens. Here, we will create two user variables, one for recording the total number of emails to be read from the mailbox, and the second to hold the emails from HR India. Click the Variable Manager tab. Click the Add button. This opens the Add Variable window. Now enter a variable name, and then click the Save button. As you are assigning a null value to the variable, click Yes in the dialog box to continue. The created user variable gets displayed under Local Variables. Similarly, click Add, enter the name for the second variable, and click Save. Next, to paste the subject line addressed to HR India in a spreadsheet, the file needs to be open. For this, we need to create an open spreadsheet command. Click Excel under Commands. Under the Excel command, drag and drop or double-click the Open Spreadsheet subcommand. This opens the Excel command window. Click the ellipsis button to select the required spreadsheet file. The open window gets displayed. Double-click the required Excel file. Since this spreadsheet file has header in the Excel window, select the Contains Header checkbox, and then click the Save button. Next, to set up the cursor to a cell in the spreadsheet to insert the first extracted value, under the Excel command, drag and drop or double-click Go to Cell. In the Excel command window, enter the cell value in the specific cell field and click Save. Next, we need to get HR request messages from the mailbox. For this, we need to connect to the mailbox using Email Automation's Get All Messages subcommand. First, click the Email Automation command. Then drag and drop or double-click Get All Messages subcommand. The Email Automation window opens. First, specify the email server information in the Email Server Details fields, such as mailbox host name. Next, username and password. Select whether the server uses Secure Connection, SSL. Next, select the server type. Depending on the email server in your environment, select either IMAP or POP3, and then enter the server port number. Now, select whether read, unread, or both messages need to be checked. Next, select a message format. You can download messages in HTML or plain text format. Let's go with HTML. Optionally, specify a location to which you want to download the email data by clicking the ellipsis. Click the OK button in the dialog box. Next, click the Save button in the command window. Next, we need to assign a value to the vCounter variable using the variable operation command. Drag and drop or double-click the variable operation command. Select the required variable from the Specify Variable field in the command window. Then, in the Specify Value field, assign the value for the selected variable. Click the Save button. Now we need to find emails from HR India. For this, we can use the String Operations subcommand find. Drag and drop or double-click the Find subcommand. In the String Operation window, press F2 in the source string field to insert the system variable email from. Next, in the Find String field, enter the string to search for. Then assign the output of the searched string to the variable. Now click the Save button. Next, if the searched string returned a value or email, it needs to be entered into the Excel file that is open. For this, first we need to define the if condition to check if the output returned a value. Click the If Else command in the Commands tab. Drag and drop or double-click the Variable subcommand. In the If window, click the Edit button to define the condition. In the If Variable window, press F2 and select the required variable in the Variable field. Define the required operator. Then define the value. In this, 0. Finally, click the Save button. If the output returned a value, we need to enter the returned email details, such as the subject, received date and time in the spreadsheet using the Set and Go to Cell subcommands under the Excel command. Let's enter a value for the active cell in the spreadsheet. Drag and drop or double-click the Set Cell subcommand. In the Excel window, enter the value to be entered in the active cell. In this case, to enter the subject line of the mail, we select the system variable email subject, then click the Save button. Next, we need to move the cursor to the cell on the right to insert the next value. For this, drag and drop or double-click the Go to Cell subcommand. In the Excel window, select the one cell to the right option, and then click the Save button. Continue to use Set Cell and Go to Cell subcommands to enter value in the spreadsheet. To move the cursor to the beginning of the next row to enter the value of the next email, let's use the Go to Cell subcommand. Select the one cell below in the Excel window, then click the Save button. Again, using the Go to Cell subcommand, select Beginning of the row. This will move the cursor to the beginning of the next row. Click the Save button to proceed. If we need only a certain number of messages to be read from the mailbox, we need to define an action for this condition. For this, we can again use the If Else command. Drag and drop or double-click the Variable subcommand. In the If window, click the Edit button to define the condition. Then press F2 and select the required variable. Define the required operator. Then define the value. Finally, click the Save button. If the defined number of mails are read from the mailbox, we can exit the loop. To define this, we go to the Loop command and select the Exit Loop subcommand. The exit loop is created in the action list pane after creating all the required actions to automate the process. Let's save the task. In the Save Task dialog box, enter a name for the task and click the Save button. A task bot is now created. Next, you need to test or execute the bot to ensure the bot created automates the process correctly. Click the Run button in the Workbench toolbar. The runtime window is displayed. Watch how each action defined in bot gets executed. Once all the actions are executed, the runtime window gets closed. The Excel file displays the details of mail with subject HR India. The system works helps Ruby dedicate proper time to urgent and non-urgent emails. It also allows her to focus on the finer aspects of client relationship, improving the value she brings to the organization.
Okay, so students, here I have completed. Now, there are a lot of things which you people can do to become a RPA developer. And you're already taken a course with Unix to, develop yourself as an AI. And you can use these kinds of web application tools, which I am giving you as an industry expert or academic expert, from my viewpoint. And believe me, these platforms are really helpful. And if you learn, you may have a very good chance of getting placed in a very big company. So develop it, learn the coding also, but at the same time, learn these kinds of web application tools, which can help you in doing a lot of tasks. And you can also, when you show in your resume that you know these web application or software, how to create a bot using this anytime client or Workbench and anytime client, you really get one very important software, which I may talk a little bit about it. I don't know, you have reason, cannot explain that software to you, or I can't give you a task. But maybe in the next session, I will talk about UI. So UI path is kind of a RPA, very good RPA thing, where you can just run a code. You can, even if your codes are basically faulty or error is there, it will show you. So I'll keep the next few minutes for question and answers, because I have already discussed with your director and with the QNX staff that there's hardly any question and participation from the student side, which is not good, because these are all professional courses. I understand I myself has a teaching career of a long time, and I understand in the class the students don't ask questions, which should not be actually the scenario. But when there is a professional course which help you in developing your profession, when there's a skill development course, their students are not asking, this is something which is a loss for a student. So when you have an interaction where college is doing so much for you, and you are not valuing that, you're not valuing your time, you're not valuing the college efforts. So there is nothing left in the future just to regret. Maybe I'm not saying that I'm always an optimist, but when there is a chance, you should go ahead and, make sure that you take that chance. Okay. So any question? I've just kept this open for the things. Students, please ask. No questions? I think I'm stopping you from enjoying on your ethnic day. I understand how students are not at all in a mood when there's an ethnic day. Anyway, maybe Kavita ma'am, then we can wind off. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Just See, I always think that I should give them some space for talking, but none of the students put anything on the chat. Either they are not listening, they just put their, they've just logged in and gone. Or maybe they are not able to understand. No kind of feedback I'm getting. So please give me a feedback if there's a feedback. If the students want a particular, you see, last batch we had a lot of feedback from the students which helped us to take a particular session on those topics which they wanted. Student asked me to take, or especially I can talk about myself that on fintech. They asked about RPA. I actually never included RPA in my session. But from the last batch, whatever experience I had, I'm taking that only forward with this batch. But there's not a single interaction. I don't know why this is happening, because at least few students should be interested, if not all. So if any kind of a feedback if I can get, or if the students can interact faculty directly and say that, they're not able to understand, or they want something else to study, or they want other kind of way to study, then we can, do in this, whatever we understand, we go according. I have not interacted with the students, so I don't even know what is the level, whether they are understanding or not. What is, are they, is this, do they feel whatever I feel is important, I'm doing that. Better that if the students, tell the faculty, if not to us directly, that they would like something else to learn, or they would like the learning should happen in certain direction. So then we can help. Otherwise, whatever we feel, we will bring, and whatever we feeling is, and we are bringing is very good enough, because that's what is a trend. But then student feedback is necessary. There's no interaction, so at least there should be a feedback. So Kavita ma'am, it will be helpful if we can get a feedback in the, and or what we can do is next session, I would like actually to interact with the students. So I'll not start the session immediately. And this is, my wish. And I want to interact initially with the students. Maybe they can put in the chat box, or they can speak. First half an hour, I want to talk to them. I want to know that whether they are understanding the concept, what is the difficulty and challenging level, how, if it is too difficult or too easy for them, let us understand that. Still, we have 1.5 months left. Okay, ma'am?
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
So next ma'am, Kyonix, I don't think Harinakshi ma'am is there. So please make sure that you interact with the faculty over there in the college and get some feedback. And half an hour session, I will just have a talking with the students, where I'm not saying everybody can talk, but at least one representative, the faculty can tell, and that be very frank. You can criticize me, I don't mind. At least there is a scope of coming up with something which they want, right? So let's have that in the next session, and then we'll go ahead with it.
Okay, ma'am. We'll
I
inform
was
them.
actually planning on UI path, but yeah, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, you were saying something.
No, ma'am. Carry on.
Next session, ma'am, we will have some interaction. And I would like the students to tell me that if they want to learn something, and if I know that, if I have a good knowledge on that, I may, take a session on that. Or if they feel difficulty and they want some help on that, maybe we can give the help. Student feedback is compulsory. Otherwise, it is very difficult to understand their level of learning. Ultimately, we are doing to give them a very effective learning environment. We are not able to find out. With the first batch, we were able to find out that, because the first batch were doing all exercises what we were given. In fact, most of the sessions were where they used to show us by sharing the window, and that these are the exercises. Here, I don't know the level of the students. Okay, ma'am. Okay. So we'll wind off now. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have a nice day. Enjoy, students.
Thank you.